Alrighty, hello, Miss Perry. Today I will be presenting my logical fallacies assignment. So, let's get right into it. So the first one I have is an example of appeal to ignorance, and this is coming from Donald Trump's Twitter. He quotes, "At High on Hillcrest, at Jeff Zeleny, what proof do you have Donald Trump did not suffer from millions of fraud voters? Journalists, do your job." At CNN. So this is appeal to ignorance because Trump is quoting someone who said, "What proof do you have that Trump did not suffer from fraud votes?" Therefore, they are implying that if they don't have proof that he did not suffer from fraud votes, that Trump had to have used fraud votes in the election. This is thinking a claim is true because it can't be proven false. He's doing this to make CNN look bad. And the target audience is people who at the current time support CNN and follow them, so he can convince them not to watch that company because it has fake news. He wants to convey people to hear the true sides of his stories, which CNN doesn't convey. So once again, appeal to ignorance. They're not using the general. Okay, so they're not using like the general argument. They are just saying this can't be true because they don't have proof that it is true, or they this is wrong because they don't have anything to support it. So it's like going around the question in a way. So our next one, we have an example of cherry picking from Twitter. Sally Cohn says, "Worst mass shooting in United States history. Let's look at what all mass shootings in the United States have in common: guns, hatred. Time to address both." So this is cherry picking because Sally is only picking two extreme points from the shootings to support her argument instead of looking at the big picture. Excuse me. Because of Sally's tweet, people who see this will automatically assume that these two factors accurately represent shootings, when in reality there are a lot more. So cherry picking is choosing a few examples that support your argument rather than looking at the full picture. So that's exactly what we did. What she did, if you can look back, she only chose guns and hatred to uh to correctly get her point across, because Sally obviously is a hate does not like guns, and she obviously thinks hatred is an extreme part of the shootings. So the target audience is her supporting followers and people on Twitter who are in the conversation about mass shootings. Unlike high-ranked political figures like Trump and Clinton, her tweets won't be widely recognized. Therefore, these tweets only apply to her followers and those in this conversation. Again, this cherry picking is putting her point across unfairly because it is automatically um, representing mass shootings with hatred and guns. The next thing we have is from Instagram, and this is a slippery slope example. The dad cat says, "If you let a bully come in your front yard, he will be on your porch the next day, and the day after that, he will eat your babies." And the turtle at the bottom says, "That escalated quickly." So this is slippery slope because the daddy cat is exaggerating the consequence of the bully with immediate causes and effects. Starts with one thing, then it quickly escalates to "he will eat your babies." So it is a slippery slope. And then the turtle at the bottom is adding in that the sequence of events are dramatic and extreme. In summary, just because one thing happens, the daddy cat says a lot more extreme consequences will follow. And the target audience is people who are getting bullied to teach them to stand up for themselves, and people who see this post on their feed on Instagram. This cartoon on Instagram is to try and scare people from letting themselves be bossed around, because if they let it happen, harsh and extreme facts will keep happening. Our next example is ecological fallacy on Twitter. Donald J. Trump says 8 Syrians were just caught on the southern border trying to get into the United States. ISIS, maybe? I told you so. We need a big and beautiful wall. And as you can see, this got a bunch of support, a bunch of recognition. And this is an ecological fallacy because Trump is automatically associating the 8 Syrians caught on the southern border as dangerous and possible ISIS members, when in reality they could just be normal citizens just trying to find a better life in America. Trump is tweeting this to get more support for his wall proposition. He's making an assumption of Syrians based on general tendencies. And the target audience is the citizens, including government officials of the United States. They are the audience because Trump is now the president, and he is trying to gain more influence from government officials slash citizens of the United States in order to build this wall accompanying Mexico. So once again, this isn't like Sally, because she's just like someone who believes certain governmental ideas, and Trump is the president of the United States. So it's not only Twitter, because this will get floated around everywhere. His words will be told everywhere, so it's not just Twitter itself. So yeah, ecological fallacy, just basically stereotyping a group of people in a way to get his point across. And our final one is false dilemma, and this is actually on Twitter, tweeted by Hillary Clinton. One candidate will help millions of hardworking Americans. The other would only help those at the top. And this right here is a prime example. You don't even have to read the bottom illustrations. She just stereotyped herself and made herself look so much better than Trump because she highlighted her best qualities and something that would make her look really good while making the other candidate look horrible and not even good. So we'll read the illustrations. And so this is Hillary Clinton. She says she will make sure the wealthiest Americans pay their fair share in taxes. And Trump, he's also frowning while Hillary is smiling, which also is a bad part. Um, that gives her an unfair advantage. And his says will give huge tax cuts to billionaires and millionaires like himself, which is I'm not sure if that's true. Will give huge tax cuts. Oh, no, no, no. That's what she will do. That's what Clinton is doing. So yeah. So Clinton said she will give huge tax cuts, and there's Trump. Very sad about that. This is false dilemma because Hillary is automatically assuming two possibilities of the candidates when they run for election, while there's more than two when it comes to what each candidate stands for. And this is the top. This isn't really a part of the thing. This is she was talking about her taxing ideas. So this is the main part of the false dilemma. So she is she's assuming two possibilities. So she's saying that Clinton is would help millions of hardworking Americans when Trump would only help those at the top, which is not true. Trump would obviously not only help those at the top, he'd help with the poor, he'd help with the middle class, but Hillary's just saying this in order to make herself look better. Um, so when it comes to when it comes to each what candidates stand for, Hillary is making Trump look bad in order to gain support on votes on her side for the presidential election. So yeah, all these tweets are just trying to make this tweet is trying to make Hillary look better in Trump with the upcoming election, and the target audience is voters in the 2016 presidential election for both sides. She's targeting her audience for reassurance of their vote, and she's targeting Trump's audience to try and get them on her side for their voters. False dilemma, once again, thinking there are only two possibilities when there may be alternatives you haven't considered. So yeah, that's all of the fallacies I have for you today. I really hope you guys enjoyed, or Miss Perry, I hope you enjoyed. So yeah, thanks, and I'll see you later.